Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our bi-weekly recap. We are ready to get started today. Let's look at CoinGecko real quick just to see what the market's at. Well, similar as per usual, the last several weeks we've just been below 30K. We keep peaking above that 30, sometimes 32 mark for a day, and then it dips right back down. It likes to sit at that 29.5-ish area. If you're doing some short-term scalping like I am, there's some little bit of money to be made depending on how much you put in. It's actually quite fun to do, to be honest with you. Ethereum, of course, still under 2K. It's a lot more under. Generally, it's spending at the 1950 mark, but now we're at 1862, so that's really far down. If you want to buy a Bitcoin or Ethereum, now is the time to do so. These are great prices. Very happy with them. Again, just be patient, cost dollar average in, and there is always money to be made if you're intelligent about it. But overall, market, we're still in that bearish market, but there is still time and space to enjoy it, as am I. How are you doing, Dan the man?
You know, hanging tight, brother. Just it's just sideways action, this stinking market. That's this whole 27.5 to 31 is all sideways action until we break through that 31. But I think we're going to see a breakthrough here soon. I'm just curious, like how far up are we going to go? I mean, could go up to 38 and drop to 22. Who knows,
Yeah.
right? So just kind of waiting to see what happens. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, you're right. As long as you're smart, there's always money to be made out there. And there's the only bad time not to get into crypto is not to get in at all.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, learn the
that would
field,
be like,
learn what's going on, pay attention, have some skin in the game.
yeah, because you can't make any money if you're not in. But people say you can't lose any money if you're not in too. Well, that's true. You'll just be the same old way you've been. So you got to change things up, right? Definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same results. So
Expecting
you
different
gotta,
results.
yeah, I know I said same results. It's Thursday. I really don't have an excuse. I just thought I'd say it's Thursday.
Okay.
I'm just ADHD. So
What's really interesting is since we all know that Bitcoin is the main driving factor of all these other currencies as well, and they're all really very much dependent on Bitcoin. Ethereum as well, predominantly Bitcoin. You can look at the charts, which is really cool. Like Ethereum near completely mimics uh, Bitcoin near exactly, which is really crazy. But so do a lot of these other markets, as you can see, like a crash right in the front, and especially a crash right now. But a good indicator of what is a very strong token to look into is you can see how quickly something recovers after Bitcoin crashes. For instance, if you look at like Tron, I'm having trouble finding it here. I just had it up for a second ago. We'll just search real fast. Get this up. No, I messed up. There we go.
do do do
Thank you.
do
Keep that going. I need it.
do 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 do
There we go. If we look
do.
at Tron, we can cut the music now. If we look
All
at
right.
Tron after
Yeah,
every single dump of Bitcoin, it dumps as well, but then it recovers very strongly after. And that's just a really good indicator of how, I would say, independent, but also just how durable a certain token is. Tron and Chain's a good example of that as well. I'm not going to try and find that one. I'll need the music again.
please
But
don't.
yeah, I'm really liking Tron right now. I'm really liking how things are looking. Even in bear market, you can be smart about it. But speaking of strong, why don't we get into Davos, Dad?
All right, man. So if you don't know who Ray Dalio is, he's basically the financial advisor to billionaires, right? So needless to say, he's pretty smart. So if you see here, Davis 2022 is going on right now, the World Economic Forum. If you don't know anything about it, Google him, look at the Great Reset. That's all I'm going to say. But it's definitely a good read. Um, Glenn Beck's book, The Great Reset's a good read too. So check those out. But anyway, Dalio is huge right now on Bitcoin. Um, so listen, if a billionaire advisor who advises billionaires says Bitcoin is awesome, might want to pay attention a little bit, right? Because I think in the next year to 2 years, you're gonna be very, very happy with what's going on. So if we look at our next little piece here on crypto news, you look like. JP Morgan just came out and said Bitcoin's undervalued. Crypto is now better than real estate. That's a bold statement by JP Morgan to come out, because real estate's usually been pretty safe investment. As my friend always told me, God's not creating it in any more land. So, if you can get some real estate, but they're saying it's a better investment right now. And I was
Until Musk
talking
makes
to
it to Mars, and then you get some Mars real estate. That's what you need.
exactly. Well, yeah, but there's only so much Mars real estate, right? God's
Yeah.
not making another
Yeah,
Mars.
Jupiter. You just keep going up. Just
Well, Jupiter's not a planet.
please stop. Jupiter is a planet.
No, it's not.
You're thinking of the wrong one, my friend.
No, I know. You're thinking of Pluto.
No, you're thinking. Okay, we're moving on. Reading into what he just said, the Wall Street investment bank, J.P. Morgan. All right,
I love getting underneath his skin. It's so awesome. I love watching him. It's awesome.
He's just trying to recover from saying Jupiter's not a planet.
Well, I love.
All right, we have to get back into this and not.
All right, get back
off.
Anyway, so JP Morgan's better than real estate. So I mean that's huge, right? And I think you're right, because you're looking at. I forget the mortgage rate. It's like 5.7 right now. I mean, we just bought a house and we got a 7-year ARM for 4.5, which was awesome, right? So yeah, I mean, there's just all types of news coming out. So we kind of go down, look at Yahoo, right? They're predicting that crypto could climb over 100,000 by next year. Massive news, right? So you have all these bullish sentiments coming out, which is kind of weird since we're in a bear market. Why would all these bullish sentiments be coming out if we're in a bear market? Probably because it's getting ready to go up. I mean, I'm just saying, guys, if you watch the news, I'm not saying that the news pushes a narrative of what they want to see happen, wink, wink, but they probably push the narrative that they want to see happen, i.e. they want to push Bitcoin up. They could push up, like I said, push up 38, 40,000, crash at 22. Everyone will get out, and then they can just drive the market up. I mean, what's your thoughts on all this news that's coming out, Nick?
It's certainly interesting. I don't know particularly about whether or not it'll, let's say, quote unquote, explode or go to the moon or anything like that. But adoption and what people think about cryptocurrencies is certainly going up. And I think now is a good time for people to get in because of prices are so low. And despite the dump, people have been clowning on it for so long. And then they go, okay, well, this might have some hold some water. They might get more interested, and then also now's the time to get in because this stuff is so cheap relatively. So I think that's kind of why things are exploding. And of course, as always, there is a massive amount of manipulation in these markets, and there's squeezes and people trying to get everybody out, and people are trying to accumulate a majority percentage as much as possible, so on and so forth. But I definitely go ahead.
Now this isn't financial advice. This is for educational entertainment purposes only. We're not financial advisors. But if I was getting in right now, well, let me ask your opinion before I give my opinion. If you were to get in right now, what would you get into?
Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
I would get into a very minor position, i.e. like 5 to 10% in altcoins, like as an entirety of the portfolio, like 5 to 10% in anything alt, and then 90%. I would what do I call it? Be cautious of even getting into Ethereum, because if you look at the charts, Ethereum does basically exactly what Bitcoin does. So then what's the point? Just follow Bitcoin.
Well, yeah, but I think Ethereum has more room to grow than what Bitcoin does.
In terms of like actual use case and capability, I completely agree. But I'm talking strictly at price.
I don't know. You could see. Well, let's look at it this way. Like, so if Ethereum goes to 10,000, and let's just say for easy numbers it's 2, so that's a 5x, right? So for Bitcoin to 5x, I mean, Bitcoin would have to go. Was it 30 right now? What was that, 500,000? That's not happening anytime soon. But I could see Ethereum going to 10K in the next 2-3 years.
I mean, if you
Pretty soon.
look at the charts, right? Look at Bitcoin, look at Ethereum, compare them by 24 hours, compare them by 7 days, compare them by 14, 30, 90, 180. They are nearly the exact same for every single chart. So I don't really see a reason why Ethereum would all of a sudden break away from following Bitcoin after its entirety has been doing nigh the exact same. Yes, I completely agree.
Well,
You have ERC20 and all these things.
right. So if that ERC20 comes out and the fork happens, right? So it makes it more efficient. It costs less. I could see it breaking away from Bitcoin.
I don't think it'll break away from Bitcoin until
Um,
the possibility can certainly change when we move to proof of stake, just because of how the operation changes. So your Ethereum 2.0 really that could
yeah,
change
but
the
that
game,
could come
but
out as
I'm
early as
speculating.
August. Yeah, that could come out as early as August, though. So,
Well, that's what I'm
but
saying. I'm
that's why
saying
I
once
think.
that happened, I would be far more open to the possibility. But until
So
that happens,
why wouldn't you just buy Ethereum now? If
no,
it follows Bit,
I would still hold buy Ethereum.
yeah, that's why
I'm
I'm
talking
thinking.
about
I'm
right
more.
now. What's today? I'm not
Yeah, but
thinking
I'm way
years out.
more. I'm more. Even if we take the next 6 months, I'm way more bullish on Ethereum than Bitcoin
Okay.
because of the fork that could happen, right? So, if Ethereum follows Bitcoin, right? Your worst case is you buy Ethereum follows Bitcoin, you're not going to gain or lose anymore because it's following Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
But then if the fork happens, it could break away, so your chances of the upside is much higher. So that's why. But I will say, I would definitely buy. I'm with you. I wouldn't buy hardly any decentralized finance right now unless you're already in it. Because let's say you buy today, if Ethereum bounces, I mean, Bitcoin bounces to 38 and then drops to 22. As long as you don't sell, you'll be just fine. It'll come back. Like you're not going to lose money. The key is people get, oh crap, Bitcoin dropped to 22. I'm selling. You know,
Yeah.
you just got to hold because it's. I mean, just like, and again, well, as we always say, follow our psychedelic leaders, right?
Yeah.
That's what we always say. So if you look at them, they're all going. Bitcoin's going to 100K next year. So guess what, guys? It drops to 22. Just hold. Go have a bottle of wine, calm yourself down, wait a couple months, and you're going to be just fine. So, um, so one of these coins I want to talk about. So I want to talk about Strike. Now, Strike's kind of, if we look at the coin itself, right? Like, so if you can pull that up, the Strike coin, right?
Yep.
We have that up on the
Yep.
chart. Okay. So when you look at the circulating supply right now is like 3 million. Let's just call it 3.2 million, right? Max supply 6.5 million. And what the strike does, it's really nothing too fancy. Like if you scroll down CoinMarketCap, and the reason why we're showing this to you guys, or in CoinGecko, you scroll down, is this way you can go and kind of find out about different coins without doing a ton of research. You just go down in here, read what it is. It tells you what Strike is. We know it's a DeFi lending protocol. They have different things you can deposit into different Ethernet pools and earn money on it. And then, but there's no founders. We don't know who the founders is. That's a red flag to me. But like we go over to strike.me.com, right? And you look at Strike. Here's what's cool.
Strike or stripe?
No, Strike.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm just making sure.
Yeah, strike.me.
Yeah. We're on the same page. We're good.
All right, make sure. But the cool thing what they're coming out with is like you can go and buy Bitcoin through them and transfer. Like if you had like Venmo, they're trying to be like that Venmo type thing to where if I wanted to go to Nick and be like, hey, I'll buy I don't know some baseball cards from you for $50. I can use this app, and if he has the app, and I can transfer my Bitcoin to him real easily, right? But you can also do it with cash, and you do it with any currency anywhere in the world. So if someone over in Europe wants to buy something from you, they can transfer it to Bitcoin. It's super cheap to do. It's going to be like $1, and you can even buy Bitcoin for $1 because they're using the Lightning Network, right, to do this. So it's super cheap, and go, why don't I just use Coinbase? Well, you could, but it pay 3%. So you can pay 1% or you pay 3%. So this could be very interesting. I'm curious where this is going to go. So this is just one to watch and see where this thing goes and plays out. But this could be pretty freaking cool if this comes to fruition. So I don't know what your thoughts on that are, Nick.
Yeah, as per usual, usually throw something at me and then I take a look at it. And that's really cool. But one thing that you can do to kind of see the legitimacy of something, what's interesting, because there are a lot of people that are really good at making things look legitimate. I'm not making any claims about Strike right now at all. I haven't looked through the white papers. But the first little lawn red flag that's out there is on their white paper. Immediately you open it and the front page is not built correctly of the white paper. You'll have to double back and watch video, but the logo is like really, you can't read it because it's a white logo with a white background, or I should say white name, white background.
Right.
And then what you can do after is go through and what is it called? Spell check any of the what's in the white paper to see if things are misspelled, to see, because generally these external countries that don't speak English properly will misspell things just because they can't recognize it and their grammar's off. So that's just a way to check through the white paper. That's something I'm going to need to do to go through here. But that's really like step number one of checking legitimacy of something. Because if something comes up and things are misspelled or the grammar doesn't really make sense, then that's your first little red flag. But always do your own research, look into things, and see what you like and don't like.
Yeah, we're not promoting Strike. We're saying buy Strike or anything like that. It's just something that I saw out there that was neat, and just our whole point of on this channel is to get you guys to start thinking about different coins, different avenues to make money. Because listen, if you can generate something, come up with an idea these days, especially something that has residual income, that's what we're all about. It's having that entrepreneur spirit. So that's what we're just trying to get you guys to start thinking and seeing what other people are doing. Because who knows, you could be looking at this and go, I got a great idea that can even help support it, or just a totally different idea to compete against it. You know, I mean, it's amazing what you can make in America and make money off of. Like just give an example recently before we kind of end this show is like in my other business we had they needed to track. I didn't even know this, but like Marriott has like fragrances, like they have their own fragrance. Did you know that?
I did it. I have my own fragrance too.
Well, that's it's nasty. But different hotels have different fragrances. So when you go into their hotels, you smell that and you're like, oh, I remember this smell. And you want to come back there because it's a pleasant smell. Well, all those little fragrances that are dispersed are controlled or monitored by little network devices, right? So we had a client come to us and was like, hey, we need to have better tracking, better trouble ticketing on these devices. And of course, we can do that for them. But it was cool because I didn't even know this was out there. And it's just like whoever came up with this idea was like, hey, you want your own little fragrance? Well, we can do that. We'll track it. When it runs low, we'll replace it and take care of it for you. And I'm sure Marriott was like, well, that makes sense. We don't have to do it. Right? But it's just another idea of someone came up with this idea of stupid thing like, putting air freshener is basically what it is. Right?
Yeah.
Inside of a hotel.
For
and
sure.
I'm sure they're just charging a stupid amount of money for this. So, again, it's just that creativity when it starts striking up in people and getting you guys to start thinking about different ideas to make money, and crypto is one of them. But I think there's so many things that are going to come out in the metaverse that we can make money on. It's just stupid. So
yeah, there's opportunities everywhere, and that guy that you meet that air freshener guy who came up with the whole idea. You meet him in the club, like, oh, what do you do? That's a nice Lambo you got there. That's a nice McLaren you got there. What do you do? Oh, I manage the air fresheners in Marriott hotels. Excuse me?
you're like,
What?
what?
Yeah, so there's opportunity everywhere. So keep your mind independent. Think for yourself, or someone else will do your thinking for you.
It's true. I mean, I just to close out here. I mean, what was the guy who created the McDonald's sauce? I went to pay him X amount of money. He's like, nah, just give me a penny for every Big Mac you sell.
Exactly.
So, all right, man. Hey, it's great talking with you as always, son. And we're out, brother.
Awesome as well. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to check the description if you want to learn more at Meta Education. We'll be happy to have you. So, goodbye, everyone.